You've figured out maybe some people you want to talk to consider working with, right? Typically, some sort of consultation. We do ours as an in-home consultation. You really want to clarify a number of different things, right? You want to figure out what your goals are. You want to prioritize them because your wish list might be this long. Your budget might be a little bit less, 100% of the time. If you grow your budget, your wish list will grow with it. That's what we have found. So, but to have clarity over those things, right? What do you want to accomplish? And then what is the most important thing? What are the biggest problems we're trying to solve? What are the most important things that you want to accomplish? Understanding kind of where you might go visually with it, design inspiration, using resources like Houzz or Pinterest, something along those lines, might spark some ideas within you. The company that you partner with may be able to bring professionals to the mix. We have our interior design team, which are amazing, that will really help pull all those visual details together, the aesthetic direction, all that matters, right? But understanding maybe what resonates with you, those websites might be helpful to get some ideas of maybe where to start. Some other things like your time frame, like what does that look like? Do you have Aunt Sally, I don't know what example I'm going to use. A wedding or something, right? We've had a lot of those lately, right? Somebody's throwing a party, for a wedding, and they want to renovate the home prior to that party. What does that time frame look like? Make sure you're communicating that to the people that you're talking to, so that can be factored in. Some projects do take a while. We talked through a couple things like the permitting time frame. Construction obviously has its own time frame. Designing takes time. So you want to make sure that the thing that you have in your head is possible within the time frame you have available, and we need to be talking about those kinds of things.
Sometimes there's a question of logistics. Can I live through this remodel, right? What does that look like from my day to day? Sometimes that speaks to time frame, right? Time in which you're planning and nothing's happening in your home, or time during the build. So definitely a question to consider. How much furniture do I need to move? Do I have kids, right? How does this affect my pets? What about travel? Can I travel while the construction is happening? Those are things that you want to consider and talk about in preparation for any remodel. And then always the budget. So I'm sure every person in here wants to know, how much will your remodel cost, right? No? Nobody wants to know. We can just make up a number. Okay, so this is something you want to kind of start to think about before you start to interview people. What is your personal budget? This is completely different than what does the project cost. This is something where you might want to discuss financing, right, with your lender. We have a couple lending partners, some information we can give you. That might be, okay, this is my comfort budget and this is my stretch budget, right? Where do you land there? And then in conversations with, whether it's Lars or anyone else, they should be discussing separately from your personal budget, what can you expect from a project cost? And usually those are kind of apart, right? And as we get into the next part of this presentation, we're going to talk about how we bring those two things together, how we find the perfect blend between personal budget and project cost, right? So, and explaining kind of where those costs are driven from. Right. So those are some things just in preparation that you should be asking when meeting with whoever you might be considering.